Good morning. I'm just waking up. I'm just speaking for the first time today. And gonna just share some thoughts because that's what I do. It is, let me make sure. It's Wednesday the 12th of August and it's early. It's 6 in the morning, but I thought I'd go ahead and get up. Boy, what a whirlwind time. So now we have the presumptive Democrats, Biden and Harris. I'm going to speak on it because, number one, I have no faith in politicians. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. As far as I can see very clearly, we have the regular people. We are not represented by any of them. This is an oligarchy, and its corporations are being represented. From my perspective, there's no chance of progress under an administration like Trump's. So he's got to go. I am not impressed at all with Biden or Harris. I'm not impressed with politicians because I see the game that they're playing and what they have to do to get to where they are, which means that they don't represent me or the nation. They say these things. It's a show. So, as worthless as they are, anything's better than Trump, almost. So that's where that's at. I learned, and I also, just it's my channel. You're here listening. I learned my lesson from the last election. I voted third party. No way I was going to vote for Trump. I had dealt as a mental health professional directly back at the end of the 70s with victims of sexual abuse and exploitation. And I heard it from the victims' mouths before I knew who the Clintons were. So I couldn't vote for her. I heard, as a mental health specialist and also working in the hospitals before that as a psych tech, I saw and learned a lot of stuff that I didn't want to know. But it's mind-blowing, and the average person who, if they don't see it and is exposed to it, they don't believe it, which is why politics is so corrupt. Almost everything they say and do is a lie. But Trump's got to go. He's got to go. So that's where I'm at on that. Some music. Yeah, it's like some of you folks see what I delete and deal with, and I'm just giving it very little attention because it's bullshit, and it's just what you deal with people. You just deal with it. These people don't know what they're talking about, and they reveal themselves in the way that they speak. They try to attack. I'm just over here talking in my house, and someone's attacking me verbally. I wonder what their problem is. I played this all the way last night. It's been a while. Duke, Genesis. Posted it online, and of course we get the conversation about best and worst, Genesis and stuff. As a longtime fan, when this album happened in 1980, it was a return to form. And then there were three which I liked. But this one had the long form songs, and it had the melodies, as well as the commercial, Turn It On Again and Misunderstanding. And I'm always, right away, when I hear Misunderstanding, I hear it right away, and it was, to me, kind of flabbergasting how it wasn't more of a big deal that Misunderstanding is a straight ripoff of Hot Fun in the Summertime by Sly and the Family Stone. It's such a direct quote that, Sly could have legally made an issue, possibly the way some other people have about their songs. I noticed it right away. Like it. Here's one of the albums that I picked up at that record store over the weekend. It's a reissue, and it's not a complete reissue because the reissue came with a 7-inch and it's not in here. I still paid for it, but it's like, I'm probably not going to see this again, so let me get it. The Feedback. This is an alias for the Italian collective Gruppo Nuova Musica Consonanza. I believe I got that right. This is a crate digger's favorite because of the drum breaks. I do not buy records based on that because I think that is really short-sighted. It's like, oh really? All this other music and all you're digging is that drum break? Are you kidding me? That's why I got a lot of stuff I like to say. I got opinions, I'll tell you. Ennio Morricone, the famous soundtrack composer who recently passed away, was a part of this collective and probably plays on this album. It has a kind of what you would call for the time a standard rock beat with all this stuff going on. You know, a bit of music concrete as well as actual music. It's pretty cool. Real glad to add this to my collection. This is again one of those albums you look for an original, you'll be paying over $1,000 for it. Here's one I got earlier this year. I don't know if I ever showed it, but I played it all the way through last night, and it's really good. Jukka Gustavson, he was in the band Wigwam. Valon Vuoski, this is one of his solo albums, and I understand that one of the reasons we didn't hear much about this, as good as it is because he just came out with his wife and they're Christians. And so that's a big deal of what this album is about, is they're going on about their beliefs, you know, and I'm not interested in that. And I have my opinions, and I've been through religion, done with it. But this album is beautiful and fanciful. And what he does musically based on his faith and his thoughts is really very, very beautiful and uplifting. Here's one that I added to my collection recently. I'm smiling for a number of reasons. Some of you will probably catch why. The main reason is, you know, you just, in public, you deal with all kinds of people, and it's just got to be stated so that you learn this. When people come at you with their guns loaded emotionally, and they speak at you insultingly or attempting to insult with emotion, they're wrong. In the first, that they have dismantled anything they have to say to someone who knows, like me. If you have anything to say, you try to say it clearly. I'll say this because, again, it's instructive. My justified anger and irritation about things, it's justified, is misperceived by some, primarily based on their own issues that seeing me, what I say, how I say it, it triggers them. But I'm not to blame, and I'm not taking it. It'll keep happening. In person, it would be completely different because it happens in person. I've got skills, and I know how to use them. And in person, I'm very helpful to these kind of people who want to have a problem with me. This happens time and time again in my life. I'm prepared to help. I'm prepared to help. Pick this up. Use the final album by the Dillinger Escape Plan. What is this called? Dissociation. You know, it's fitting that the Dillinger Escape Plan, who I've seen live and got to meet and hang out with, you know, interesting people. Interesting that there's a lot of psychiatric terminology and psychology in their lyrics. I bothered to decipher or look into what's going on with this band because it's so intense. They had to quit. They had to stop. They couldn't keep playing physically the way that Dillinger Escape Plan plays. It was very physical. The music really developed. They use strings on here, but when I listen to the words coupled with Greg's vocals, where it sounds like he's losing his mind, but he's not. But he is able to express that deeply, that close to madness and outrage, and completely, I'm just going to lose it for a number of reasons. It's very powerful. Dillinger Escape Plan. Love this band. I really do. I'm glad I got this. Gryphon. Treason. I'm not English, but I love this English folk expression. Very much. Very much. That's all I can say. I just love this music and where it takes me. I love this label too, Harvest. I would collect all Harvest if I could. Yeah. I'd like to own all the records in the world. Very, it's not greed. Notice, because I know you're still watching. Here's one that goes back to the year 2009, and it's an album that I bought because I did a show with these musicians. I'd never heard of them and haven't heard anything about them since. I pulled this thinking, well, maybe it's time for this one to go, and I played it, and then, man, this is really personal and really good. You and Yourn. It would make things worse. It was a couple, a guy and a girl, romantically involved, but also making music. The songs are about them, it seems, or about relationships, but it's really warm and simple. I don't listen to a lot of music like this, but sometimes just the depth of sincerity just comes through really loud and clear, and it does on this album. This is really heartfelt. It's well played too, simple. But You and Yourn, I was prepared to put this in the closet, or put it maybe in the trade or giveaway pile. But now I'm gonna keep this. Okay, it's 13 minutes. It's early. There's a chance this might be online by 9 or so. I appreciate hearing from you all. These are tough times. Keep it together. Keep it together. I am reading the comments and I'm responding when I want to. And I'm just going to continue to be me. Stay well. And try to be part of the solution.